Hey guys, so I feel like I haven't done a storytime video in a long freaking time. And yes, I'm aware that my mother is very freaking loud. But anyways, yes, a storytime video. I haven't done one in quite a while, and I'm really surprised I didn't tell you guys this story as soon as it happened, but I guess I forgot, and so because of that, I'm telling it to you today. So today I'm going to be talking about the creepy drunk guy that I encountered on one of my many ferry rides over to Vancouver. So anyways, I was heading over to Vancouver for another one of my many adventures, and I was on the last ferry because I got off work late, and last ferry was my only option. So I get on the ferry, and the first thing I do if I'm a walk-on on the ferry is I go to find an outlet. That way I can charge my phone for the 45-minute ferry ride because honestly, my phone has a crap battery. I've whined about it so many times in so many different videos, but I'm gonna do it again because my phone sucks. I'm sitting by the outlet charging my phone and playing on my iPad because my phone's charging, and this guy comes up to me. Now this guy is probably like a year or two older than me, but he comes up to me and he sits down right across from me. Now honestly, I didn't get a good vibe from this guy from the beginning. And that bad vibe was confirmed with what I'm about to tell you next. The first thing he does when he sits across from me, he starts bitching about how I've apparently stolen his outlet. It's not your outlet, dude. It's a outlet on the ferry that I'm using. There are plenty more outlets around the boat and on the boat. But it was also apparent from his first sentence that he was mildly intoxicated. And that was confirmed when I saw that he was carrying around a six-pack. Which, to be honest, I'm surprised that the ferry workers weren't, like, mad about that. Because, like, what? So continuing on, this guy's drunk. And he starts chatting me up. He's asking me, like, my name and my age, to which I'm like, okay. But then he starts asking me questions about where I'm going, like what the exact address is, what the area is. It's freaking me out because it's like he's intending to follow me. Like, he was very adamant about finding out where I was going. Also, a quick side note, during the conversation, he offered me a beer from a six-pack, to which I was like, yeah, no, because one, Paige doesn't drink beer, and two, I'm not drinking in public on the ferry. Like, no thank you. Now, this whole conversation made me super uncomfortable, and I just sat there with my hands balled up on my lap, and I just stared down at my lap. Now, any normal person would have probably gotten up and left at this point, but me? No. I just sat there awkwardly in silence, just kind of like uncomfortable as hell and looking down at my lap. So then the ferry docks, and I'm like, holy I need to get away from this guy as soon as possible. So I get up and walk off of the ferry via the overhead walkway, and I run for the bus stop. Waiting for the bus stop, and I see the guy at the bus stop. It's like, oh I don't know why I didn't consider the fact that this guy was probably going on the same bus that I would be on, but it just didn't cross my mind. So because I was so uncomfortable, and because I honestly thought that this guy was going to try and follow me off the bus to my friend's place, I called a cab, and I was actually going to spend money on a cab because I'd rather spend money on a cab and ditch this guy than go on the bus and have him follow me to my friend's house. Like, that was something that was really freaking me out because I honestly thought he was gonna do it. So while I'm waiting for my cab, this girl approaches me. She's like a year or so older than me. And she's like, hey, I witnessed the whole situation on the ferry. You looked really uncomfortable. Totally understandable because this guy is, you know, obviously intoxicated and weird and very, you know, invasive with his questions, and just it looked very uncomfortable. And I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'm calling a cab because I really don't want to risk this guy following me to my friend's place. But then she brought up the idea of being my bus buddy and hanging out with me and sitting with me on the bus, which she didn't have to do. Like, coming up to a total stranger and offering to be their bus buddy just to avoid this guy, like, that was so nice of her, and it saved me money because I didn't have to, you know, pay for a cab. Which, funny story, as soon as we got on the bus and as soon as the bus was leaving the ferry terminal, my cab pulled up, which made me die laughing because the timing was just impeccable. And so I gladly accepted her offer. We both sat on the bus together, we were chatting, I was getting to know her, she was getting to know me. It was awesome. I made a new friend, so that was cool, and I didn't have to deal with, you know, awkwardly hiding on the bus from this weird guy. So eventually my stop comes up, and it was actually her stop as well. So we both get off the bus, and as the bus is leaving, the guy looks out the window and sees me, and he's like waving his hands at me like, oh my gosh, you know, hi, oh my gosh, why are you there? Why are you not on the bus? And like, the bus leaves and he had like the saddest look on his face. It was so funny. But I'm extremely grateful to this girl, and honestly, she didn't have to do what she did. She didn't have to approach a complete stranger and, you know, offer to sit with them. She didn't have to do that, but for her to do that out of the kindness of her heart, to get me out of a really awkward and very uncomfortable situation, like, I very much appreciate it. So if she ever sees this video, thank you so much again for being my best buddy and for like helping me out. It was very much appreciated. And at the end of the day, I got to my friend's place okay. Nobody was following me. Yes, I was very paranoid that this guy was gonna somehow find out where I was, but nobody followed me. So yeah, there you go guys. That was the story of the time that I had to deal with a weird drunk guy on the ferry. And things ended up okay. Paige was very scared and nervous, but things ended up okay. Make sure to give this video a massive thumbs up if you guys liked it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys like my videos. Keep being awesome, and I'll see y'all next time with a brand new video. Bye guys!